In this video, I'm going to be talking about 7 things that I absolutely hate about Jacksonville, Florida. First off, I just want to share with you, these are just things that I've experienced within my 20 years of living here in Jacksonville, Florida. Um, Things that, I want you to pay attention to when you're moving here to Jacksonville. Number 7 is the homelessness situation here in Jacksonville. I absolutely hate the fact that people don't have a place to stay. It really irks me in this city, all the money that's made here in this city, that people cannot have a decent place to stay. Now, let me tell you this. It's one thing for if people just want to be on the street, right? They don't want to, find a place to live. But when there's no affordable housing available, and when people end up on the street, it really is not a good feeling. When you drive by downtown in Jacksonville, it's troubling, right? So a lot of homelessness down there. The city, what I can say about it, the city is working on that in the sense, and people are helping out with that. The churches downtown are helping out. The city also is putting together a plan to house some of the homeless for a time, like 30 days, I believe, and then look for some long-term housing for them. So that's just one of the things that I hate about Jacksonville, is the amount of homelessness here. And it's something that I need to look at and see how I can help in that area, right? So let's moving on. Number 6, another thing that you have to, that I don't like about Jacksonville, I hate about it, is the public school system. Now let me be clear here. It's nothing against the teachers, it's nothing against the administrators or anything like that. But what I can tell you though is that the Jacksonville public schools are not the best. In particular, the middle schools and the high schools. Now, there is what they have here in Jacksonville called the magnet schools, where you as a parents can register your kids, and it's sort of like a lottery, and it's called the magnet program. That's a very good program that I would highly recommend if you're moving to Jacksonville. And this will get your kids in that school. Like, so if they're gifted in, say, science, if they're gifted, if they want to be a lawyer, they want to be a doctor or an artist, a musician. So they have certain schools set up to help them get in there. And they have what they call children's continuity, I believe it's called, whereas your siblings, the continuity where you can both, your children can get in there. So one child gets in there, the other child has an opportunity to get into that school. Is, you have a high success rate of getting in there. So that's what I did, and put my kids in the magnet programs. So I highly recommend that. I think with the lack of funding, the lack of after school care, and just really teachers being underpaid a lot, it just doesn't make for the best situations. Now, don't get me wrong, kids persevere through this. They push through. They got some amazing students, amazing teachers that work through the issues. But the fact of the matter is, there is a high dropout rate here in Jacksonville. Don't fool yourself. Don't kid yourself. A lot of kids just do not get through. A lot of kids slip through the cracks. And really, it starts at a young age, in these elementary schools. Now, the elementary schools, I can say, are pretty solid for the most part. But if you're a parent and you're not on your children with reading and things of this nature, it's going to be tough. And I can tell you, the public schools is one thing that I do hate here in Jacksonville, is the public school system. We must do better. And if you're a parent, I can tell you, you need to be involved with your kids. You already know this. I'm preaching to the choir, but you need to be in the PSAT, SAT, what is it? The PSE, the parent group there at your school, the SAC program, which is the Student Advisory Committee. If they're in sports, be there at those events, parent-teacher conferences, all of that. You need to show up, make it, let it be known that, hey, you're there for your child. And that will definitely help. But that's the area that Jacksonville's public schools really do struggle. And with that being said, you will see a lot of families moving outside to other counties close by where the schools are typically better on average, smaller classroom size. Um, and so you will see that. You will see a lot of parents who have money to do so. They'll put their kids in charter schools, like I said, the magnet program, and then also private schools. So that's big. That's very huge here in Jacksonville. So that's just something that when you're moving to Jacksonville, you just need to know. And there's nothing for parents to move their children to another side of town with the better schools where it's not so overcrowded, where schools are higher rated. So if you have transportation and you can drive your kid to another school and there's openings there, they can get into another school. So that is a good thing. But just know you must be involved and you must pay attention with it. Okay, number 5. Let me tell you something. I travel all around Jacksonville. While I got you here, before I get on to number 5, if you would just hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. It really helps us out here. Just want to give you all things living in Jacksonville. Just be brutally honest about what's going on in Jacksonville. Bring you the truth, raw, uncut, where you know what's going on. So number 5, like I said, the trash, and I'm not saying all neighborhoods are trashy. Don't get me wrong, but for whatever, man, this city, a lot of litter bugs, man, a lot of litter bugs. And what happens is, so I'm driving on different parts of town, and the water, with it raining so much, in the ditches and the little retention ponds, people dumping their trash. I absolutely hate it, man. They dumping their trash. And then with this water, with the rise, and you see all the trash, and you're driving, and you're just like, man, people don't want to take care of the city. I mean, find a garbage can, put the trash, come on, guys. What is going on? So that's something that you're going to see in Jacksonville. I'm not going to point fingers at any certain parts of town, but just know the neighborhoods and the sides of town where you see trash, a lot of trash and stuff, it's driving the prices of homes down, the rental rates down. It's not a good look. So just really, when you come to Jacksonville city limits, just be aware of that. That's just one of the things that when you're here, and like I said, I drive around a lot and I see that. So, it's just something to really, really pay attention to. Okay, number 4, if you're looking for that downtown experience, one thing that I do hate about Jacksonville is that the downtown is really underwhelming, right? I'm not saying we got to be New York City. I'm not saying we got to be Chicago or Atlanta. We don't have to be nothing but Jacksonville. But there's just not enough attractions down there to really bring people down there. They have the Florida Theater. They have some, the Landing was there. That's recently moved. They have the waterways, but it just really needs to be built up. Make no mistake about it. They need to upgrade it with all that beautiful water down there. They could really, really upgrade Jacksonville's downtown. So if you're coming to this city expecting a major experience, with the downtown, look, you're gonna be underwhelmed, with that. So I just want to let you know. And so it's just one of those things. I've been here 20 years, and I do go downtown. Don't get me wrong, but I just know that it's true, severely lacking. That the city is in the works of trying to, get different things going down there. The Jacksonville Jaguars are down there. They're trying to build around that stadium with hotels and, things of that nature. And so there is some life down there, but just know that we have a long way to go. And the good thing is that they are working towards improving that. So everybody's aware of the downtown and that the needed improvements are there. and it's still the cost down there is still relatively affordable. It's not crazy expensive. So just know that that's the area. Like if you're moving here, coming down, you bringing your family and friends. Look at our downtown. You might just want to just ride them through real quick. Now, what I will say, they do have some events at different times, art festivals, and different events, festivals, and things like that. And that's really cool when they have that. They shut the streets down and things like that. But with COVID in 2021, that's shut down a lot of stuff. So a lot of times it's like a ghost town. A lot of empty buildings, a lot of people just moving around in different areas of town here in Jacksonville. So that's just something to really just know. Just know that. Okay. Next, what I want to say is the traffic. Getting down to that. So with the traffic, there is, if you're coming from a major city, it's not going to be something that's going to really, you're going to be like, oh, that's all the traffic. But if you're here, you're seeing lately, probably within, the last couple of years, what I'm seeing is more and more traffic. The rush hour starts earlier. And, with the roads and everything, with all the growth here in Jacksonville and the highways, you're going to see a lot of slowdowns. There's a lot of accidents because everybody, with the weather being warm, there's a lot of things that's going on. So the traffic is something definitely I hate. You get caught in traffic. So try to avoid it as much as possible. Try to leave earlier. I try to avoid rush hour, of course. And then some areas are busier than others, of course. But just with Jacksonville, just knowing that you have to drive so far, I think that's really a part of it to get to where you need to go to. And then couple that with traffic, it just is brutal. So what I tell you to do, look, man, if you got to drive a lot, bring your snacks, bring your water, make sure you have some AC. I went with AC, without AC in my car for a while, man, in the summer, and I'm telling you, it was brutal. It was tough. But that was my fault. So I'm working on getting that fixed. But let me tell you something. That traffic, that's one thing that I do hate about Jacksonville is the traffic, right? But we're overcoming that. We're pushing through. We're getting through that. So just hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. My name is Artie Cox, a local realtor here in Jacksonville. Just giving you all the information here in Jacksonville. Okay, moving on to our last two. What I would say is the lack of a major attraction here in Jacksonville. So with that being said, I guess we in Florida are a little bit spoiled. So when you have Miami, okay, Miami world-class beaches, or a big city with a lot of events, and they got a basketball team, football team, baseball team, just Miami Beach, and it just goes on and on and on, right? Then you have, of course, you have Orlando, with Disney World, with the theme parks, Universal Studios, right? Orlando is just always got something going on. A major city, right? And then you have like Tampa, Florida. They have Busch Gardens. They have the world champion Super Bowl, Tampa Bay Bucks, which I can't stand, but that doesn't matter. But, it's just, Tampa has a lot of different things, and it's more like, a lot of people call it like the real Florida, in the sense that there's more palm trees, there's more things like outdoor things there compared to Jacksonville. I would say, Jacksonville is more spread out, but Tampa and Orlando, like Central Florida, kind of gives you more of a real Florida experience. Now, some of my locals, they're not gonna like that, but that's like I said, one of the things I hate is in Jacksonville, we really don't have that real big draw to the city. Like I say, Orlando with Disney World, Miami Beach, or Tampa with all their fishing, and just Busch Gardens, and just major downtowns too. That's really key. Like when you go to those cities with the downtown areas, it's built up. It's a lot going on. Whether it's Tampa has Ybor City, which is really huge down there. So it's just, that's one thing that I do hate about Jacksonville. But with that being said, you're not far from these areas. You're not far from Atlanta. You're only 5 hours from Atlanta. You're not far from Orlando, only 2.5 hours. Tampa's like 3.5 hours. Miami's only 5 hours. So it's just a hop, skip, and a jump driving to those areas. So, with that being said, Jacksonville, with it being so spread out, so much space, I can see us having a major, maybe theme park or some big attraction to attract more tourists here. That, there's many that are coming. And, that's just another thing that, I hate about Jacksonville that, we definitely need to work on and look at it. So, maybe they can have a Disney World Part 2 here in Jacksonville. I don't know, okay. And then lastly, thing that I really hate, the crime. Yeah. So this is the last one. So let me be clear. Now, Jacksonville is not just people just walking around with guns shooting people. I've been here 20 years, haven't had any issues. Family hadn't had any issues, right? But you got best be aware of your surroundings in the evenings, and it's just like with any city. But I think here in Jacksonville, what I'm noticing the trend is that with everything that's been going on in the country, there's kind of like people calling for defund the police and things like that, just all the things that we've been through as a country in general. I think what I'm not saying the police aren't doing their job, because we much respect to them, the fire department, first responders, police, all that. I respect them, right? Regardless. But I think crime has gone up everywhere during this pandemic this last year and things like that. But even before that, Jacksonville is really a place where you just got to pay attention to the city. And it's no particular areas. It's all over. You can go anywhere. But I just think that the crime needs to be addressed here. And, it's situation. There's so many unsolved murders here. And I don't mean to paint a bleak picture, because you can come here and be successful. But you just got to know, if you're a person that watches the news, you may want to turn it off more than watch it, because there's crimes, and it's just like, wow, young people, old people, all walks of life, so it's just one of those things. The jails stay filled down here. There's a lot of jobs in corrections, right? So it's just a thing that I think all major cities deal with. But I think with this being a warm climate too, and the weather is beautiful. People, a lot of times they're out and about, and it's just easy to get into trouble. It's easy to get in trouble a lot of times if you're looking for that. So I don't want to make no excuses for anybody, because I'm not about that. I'm about full responsibility for folks. But that's just, like I said, one thing that I hate about Jacksonville. And I know the police are working on that, the sheriff and things like that. But with this city being so spread out and so huge, I think it's just a lot of things just get lost. And whether that's the door pullers at night, a lot of people don't lock their doors. Whether that's just the weather and the longer days, and just, kids maybe not having transportation, whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but that is something that when you come, you just got to know, hey, look, Jacksonville, there's going to be, there's something to pay attention to. So these are some things. But look, I want to end on a good note. Just thank you for watching and taking time to watch. I'll be dropping more videos weekly, right? And just giving you more information about Jacksonville. I want to be a resource. If you have any videos or anything that you want me to speak about Jacksonville, let me know. I'm working on some other things, right, to put out some more videos. I want to be a resource. I want to be a help. If you're moving to Jacksonville, if you're looking for a rental, or if you're looking for a new home, I definitely can help you. I'm out and about all over. I have kids who went to those schools I talked about, some of the public schools. I can tell you which ones to go to, which ones to avoid, kind of like give you some information. I'm not going to steer anybody, because I can't do that, but just really just being a resource for you. So any comments, anything good, bad, constructive criticism, let me know. Love to help you out. And remember, you take care and you have a wonderful and blessed day. Hit me up anytime. Artie Cox, Love to chat. Shoot me a call, shoot me a text, email. My contact information will be, on this down below. So just take care. Have a wonderful day. Be blessed.